Hello boys and girls, welcome to another extravagant science class. Today I'm here to teach you all about evolution. Evolution is the constant development of life on Earth. It tells us why we look so similar to other species. Evolution was discovered by my grandfather, Charles Darwin. But first, we need to look at the evidence for evolution. Sometimes it's hard for people to comprehend the idea of evolution because they're just so different from traditional beliefs, but the evidence does stack up. The first type of evolution that proves Charles Darwin's theory of evolution is fossils. There have been fossils discovered from millions of years ago that look very similar to the human skull. And as evolution tells us, the more fossils we discover, we can see the slow process of change between each skull. The second type of evidence that proves evolution is chemical similarities between each species. As Dennis O'Neill said in 2013, 99% of protein, carbohydrates, fats and other molecules of living things are made up out of 6 of the 92 most common elements. This is more than a mere coincidence.
Charles Darwin proposed his idea of evolution in 1858. He said that different species are constantly evolving through a process known as natural selection. He discovered this when travelling on the Galapagos Islands. When Charles Darwin and his crew discovered the Galapagos Islands, they saw a variety of species of finches. His idea was that these finches once had a common ancestor, each with a different type of beak. When food became scarce, the process of natural selection kicked in. Some birds had short beaks for eating seeds and nuts, while others had long beaks for picking worms out of the ground. Any finches with unfavourable characteristics would die, leaving the other species to mate and make new sorts of finches. Each individual is subjected to natural selection. Within a species, there are many diverse traits and characteristics. To survive and thrive in an environment with a particular climate, predators, and toxins, some characters may not be suited to the atmosphere and die off as a result. Individuals that are poorly adapted to their environment are less likely to survive and reproduce, states BBC in 2014. The remaining characteristics will then produce offspring with similar traits. A real-life example of natural selection is the polar bear, which was originally the brown bear. Some of these brown bears migrated north towards the snow. The lighter the fur, the easier it was for these bears to catch prey. So the bears with the dark fur would eventually starve, leaving the bears with the favourable trait, the light fur, to mate and produce light-haired offspring.
Variation within a species is absolutely vital for the process of evolution. It begins with excess production. More than what is necessary, offspring is produced. So then, even if there's a natural disaster, the fittest offspring will survive and the rest will die out, and the species will continue to grow and develop. The next part is genetic recombination. This is when the gametes take half of each parent's offspring, shuffle their genes, and then use the 50% of each parent to then make more offspring. And the final part of variation within a species is mutations. These can be positive, negative, or neutral effects.
Mutations that can affect the rest of the species occur in the meiosis cells. If they occur in the mitosis cells, they will only affect the individual. An example of a positive mutation is in the wild almond trees. The wild almond trees often died off because they were a great food source for many different types of animals. But after a mutation in the meiosis cells, a poison formed that stopped birds and other animals from eating the nuts on the trees. So they stopped dying off. A neutral mutation is the blue eyes found in humans, whilst a negative mutation found in humans is cancer.
It is now clear that Charles Darwin was correct with his theory of natural selection through evolution. But that means this isn't the end for humans. We will constantly have to adapt and change and evolve to the environment around us, because the environment is always changing. We'll never reach perfection. Thank you and goodbye.